Good morning. Thank you for joining me. It's been about a week and a half since I've been out with the camera. Spent a few days in England visiting family and friends and managed to bring back a bit of a cold with me. So this is my first trip out. Weather forecast for this morning is not actually that appealing. There's forecasting 0 clouds, and in fact the only clouds I can see at the moment are out near the horizon. Hopefully they're not enough to block the light. I've come to a location called Torre del Charco, which is in Villajoyosa, about a 20-minute drive away. And what we've got basically is a rocky beach with a nice steep cliff and a medieval tower on the top. Let's just give you a look at that scene. So, a nice rocky beach. And there's even a nice little rock pool which might produce some interesting reflections. And then up, and there's the cliff, and there is the medieval watchtower on the top. So what I'm hoping is that the lack of cloud will mean we get some nice light on that cliff and on that tower, because the sun is actually going to be rising out there behind me. And of course the one beauty of there being no clouds is we should get some nice light. But the composition is going to have to work around the fact that there's no clouds to make that scene interesting. Okay, so we've got about 25 minutes until sunrise. So I think what I'm going to do is get set up, try and dial in a composition that looks like it might work, and then I'll come back and talk you through it. Okay, I've picked a composition and I've set up, and I've just taken a quick test shot. It's looking quite nice. Yeah. Still waiting. We've got about another 15, maybe 17 minutes until the sun peaks up over the horizon. Camera mounted vertically on the tripod. It's going to be a portrait orientation, but probably with a post-production crop. Not quite square, but maybe a 8x10 or format, something like that. Composition uses the rocks here as foreground, and then the reflection of the tower, and then the cliff itself and the tower up at the top there. And the tower is going to be across on the left-hand side of the frame, minimising the amount of sky that I'm actually showing. Right, I've just added a polarizer. The sun is a little bit off of 90 degrees to the scene, but I think a polarizer is going to help to take a little bit of glare out. But at the moment, despite the lack of clouds, it's actually looking like quite a pretty scene. The reflections in the rock pool are quite nice. What we just really need is that sun to stick its head up over the horizon and cast a bit of direct light on the scene from the side, which hopefully will be happening in about 8 or 9 minutes. Let's wait and see. Just starting to see the first signs of the sun on the horizon. There's a little bit of cloud out there, so it might take a few minutes before it actually appears and actually produces any light on the scene. It's quite peaceful here this morning. Just the sound of the waves. Not very big waves, but very pleasant. and just off in the distance I can actually hear the drone of a fishing boat, because there's a few fishing boats out there at the moment. Okay, we're getting a bit of a glow out on the horizon where the sun's coming up. There's definitely a little bit of cloud there, so it is going to take a few more minutes before it starts to put any light on the scene. Keeping an eye on the exposure. Here comes the sun, starting to peek over the horizon, which means in a few seconds, or maybe a minute or so, we'll get some better light on the scene. Time to take some pictures. Okay, the sun is up above the horizon. We're getting some really nice light painting on that scene. So I'm going to give it a go. F11, 1/3 of a second. All I've got on there is a polarizing filter at the moment. 2-second timer. Let's see what we get. Histogram looks spot on. That's actually looking like a pretty nice image. Quite pleased with that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I might try one quick recomposition now that I've got that shot in the bag. Okay, I've switched to a horizontal format. Not sure this is going to work as well, but it's worth a try. F11, 1/6 of a second. Let's see what we get. 2-second timer. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I'm not 100% sure about the composition, but it's not bad. The sun's getting quite high now, so it will soon be time to give up for the morning and head home for some breakfast and some coffee, because I'm hungry. So I was heading back to the car when I spotted this rather fabulous looking tree here. It's all arched over and catching the light very nicely, and the tower up there behind it. So I decided one more shot. Now there's a bit more blue sky in this one, and because it's getting a lot brighter, I've taken the polarizer off because it was causing some problems with uneven polarization of the sky. So we are at F11, 1/25 of a second. 2-second timer. Let's see what we get. Yep, exposure looks good. That's a nice final image. Now it's definitely time to head home for breakfast. So I'm going to pack up now. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have and you'd like to see more, please just click on the subscribe link that's going to pop up on the screen in a minute, or you can click the subscribe button down below in the text. And if you hit the little notification alarm bell, you'll be notified every time I post a new video. So that's it for me. Bye.